Okay, so in my last video, many of you have reached out to me and with some questions, and I actually wanted to answer them. So the first question is, why did you make that video? Why now? I have never heard you talk about depression. I didn't even know. I couldn't even imagine that you were a person that, experienced depression or. So that was kind of like surprising for a lot of people. So, yes, that is something that I have been dealing with all my life. I have learned how to deal with it very well. But when it got to the point, like now, when I reached 50, and it got to the point where I felt that this time, it's like a roller coaster. Sometimes you feel better, sometimes, you feel down, sometimes you feel better, and you cope with that, right? But this time I got to the point where I did not like what I was. Imagine myself, a person, right, that is 50 years old. I have lived a lot, right? I have learned pretty well how to cope with my depression, actually. But if I imagine if myself, at this point, right, and with my wisdom, my maturity, right, knowing how to cope with things or deal with things, a lot better than when I was 20, when I was a teenager, or when I was much younger. But imagine the amount of people, especially like young people, right, that are experiencing depression, that are dealing with depression, but it's kind of like a taboo to speak about it. And when, we focus on depression in that way, a person which is feeling those emotions, right, feeling depressed, you actually make the person to feel worse. You know what I mean? Instead of acknowledging, like, okay, we have reasons why to be sad, or there are experiences that a person goes through in their life that is not going away easily, and sometimes they stay with us forever. Now, how do you cope with that? That's the secret of life. That's the thing that we need to learn, so we can have a normal life without affecting, without letting all the things that happen in our past, or the things that have happened to us, to affect us in our present life, and keeping us from moving forward and creating the life that we really want to create, or that we deserve to create. So the question number two, that I got the most is if I do take, any medication for depression or antidepressant or things like that. And the answer is not, 100% not. I have never, probably I will never. I'm not saying that I am against antidepressants and, prescription medication to treat depression, but I am not a person that will ever choose that path. I believe that in order to treat depression correctly, first you need to take the time to understand why that person is depressed. Why are you feeling depressed? Where is this depression coming from? What is the root of all of these emotions and all of these feelings that are making you feel that way, right? And in order to do that, you have to explore, you have to go deep, you need to have a basic understanding of what, is inside the person's world, not the world outside this one here, right? In order to be able to help them. And in conventional medicine, the way to treating depression basically is going to the doctor. I'm depressed, I'm down, I have suicidal thoughts, so I cannot sleep or cry, whatever. And what they do is they give you a prescription medication for antidepressive, and if that doesn't work, then they change it to another one and then to another one. And in many cases, the side effects of those prescriptions are, to me, a million times worse than the original problem that you have yourself, but really hard to look deep into, like, why, like putting the mirror, like all of the things that have hurt us, all of the things that we are dealing with, right? And to face that. So sometimes we try to do things to put like a band-aid and to cover that, so then we don't have to face them. But you don't solve your problem or your issue like that, because you're masking it. So that's why, we get this roller coaster, sometimes feel better, worse. But to me, prescription medications is something that I know it can help a lot of people. There are medications that can really help people. I'm not saying by any means that I don't believe 100%. I'm just saying I'm not using. I am not personally myself. That is not a choice, for me. Which this take us to the third question, which is then how do you cope, with depression? Well, the number one thing, like I say, I believe is you need to know why are you depressed, what is causing your depression, what are you need to really go deep in, as painful or as hard as it might be, and first understand, like, um, what is creating my depression. In my case, I know perfectly 100% where my depression comes from, and 100%, you know what I mean? And it's like I say, sometimes it's not the experiences that we go through. Yeah, going through sexual abuse, emotional abuse, there is a lot of different type of abuse. And sometimes it's not the experience can be horrifying, but sometimes it's not the experience what really, create the trauma, but maybe the reaction to it, or how the people, like in my family, for example, right? Just to give an example, um, the way that my family have always reacted to what has happened to me has always been a lot more even traumatic than that what happened itself, and it's continuous. So that's why, as much as I left Spain, right, 30 years ago. I pretty much have no relationship with my family. So I know the cause of my depression 100%. And sometimes it go up and down, sometimes you feel better, but I have learned how to deal with it really, really well. So in the question, how do you deal with your depression, the number one thing that I do, and that I will advise absolutely anybody, is you have to keep yourself busy. That is the number one thing, because when you have to find something that you love, whether it be a hobby or whether it be like a business that you can create from something that you love, like I have done, right? Many times, whether it be with the breastfeeding business, with childbirth, whether it be with my crystal business, jewelry, my skincare line. I love to create things. I love to create things and to do things and can help other women, right? And men too, people. So myself, for example, I have always kept myself super busy to become a professional, woman, and depend on myself and be independent and financially independent, right? I love the things that I do. So I love creating businesses. I love to create new things and manifest and have an idea and manifest it into a business or into a project or into whatever I want to. So that keeps me really busy and also keep me focused on positive things, on things that make me happy, things that keep my brain busy, on creative things, on things that, it makes me feel good. So that's why it's super important to find ways, whether it be a hobby or a business, but something that you love, that we love, and then keep us busy, because that take your mind away, from that. The other things that have helped me myself, okay, these are the questions, what has helped me? I don't know about anybody else or what can help you or anybody else, but it's me. The second most important thing, aside from keeping myself busy, that has helped me has been doing ayahuasca 100% without a doubt. If there is one reason why, I have done so well, considering, right, everything, is because of that. And I, for many years, for more than a decade, for 12 years or more, I was doing ayahuasca consistently, and that helped me tremendously. I think ayahuasca is the most powerful medicine on earth. I think, ayahuasca is something that has to be uh, looked and observed with the utmost respect, and not something that anybody should play with or even do just for curiosity. But that probably, will be for another video. Anyway, myself personally, I have done a lot of ayahuasca, and that has helped me a lot, because and some of the most important things that I have learned that has helped me to cope with, things that happen in my life, or ayahuasca showed to me. So when you do ayahuasca, okay, let's see how I put this so it makes a little bit more sense. I want to do it in another video, but this is really important, so I want to throw it here because I don't want to throw, the word ayahuasca and then just don't say anything about it. But we have traumas, when we have issues, when we have anger, when we have pain, when we have sorrow, when we have sadness, any kind of negative or emotions that we build up all those things, you know what I mean? And it's like creates a cloud, right? And it becomes very heavy and we feel overwhelmed, with like a great cloud in our heads, negative thoughts or, you know, and that's how, bring us down and, we get into depressive states, of moods or of depressive state of being, right? So when you do ayahuasca, it cleans you up of all that, which is the reason, why it is known, that, most people, when you do ayahuasca, you purge, right? And sometimes a lot. So you clean up everything. It's like, it takes everything away from you. Besides, the experience that you have that, besides the experience that you have, right? And teach you, then you see whatever that journey might be, in that ceremony that you do. And after that is how you feel, you know what I mean? It's how clean. It reminds you, it reminds you the natural state of being as a human being. Not it reminds you the natural state of being, just of being, because we are way beyond. A human is just the body, it's the conduit to walk through this, a third dimension, through this earth, right? Planet, third dimension. But we are, we are so much more than that, we are energy, right? You are light, we are light, we are energy, we are cosmic star dust, so it reminds you, and pure state of love. It's like a completely blissful a state of love, of peace, of, oh my God, you never want to leave that space. I mean, it's incredible. So then you come back to the world, right? To your world, and you feel better and you focus more on the things that you do. And, then for a period of time, things is better and you are focusing and you're doing your things, right? And it seems like, life is good. And then, you start building, right? You talk to your family or things happen or it's a lot of things, that happens. And then you start building up, and then negative thoughts, and then negative energy and building up. So then, sometimes it start bringing you down, right? It's like a bank. Imagine you are a bank. So when good experience happen to you, it's a deposit. Every good experience that happens to you, every moment of happiness is like a deposit. You are deposit. You're making a deposit in your bank, and your bank of happiness, of feeling well, of well-being, right? But every negative thought, right? Every feeling that brings us down, sadness, everything, darkness, right? Is like a withdrawal, right? So every time then you are feeling negative or you having these depressive thoughts because of the negative thoughts, it's like withdrawal because it makes you feel bad, right? Because it's removing the joy out of you, right? It's taking all that joy, it's taking the light out of you, and it brings you down, it makes you dark. So then you start building up, and when I start to build up like that, I will go do ayahuasca again, and it's like a healing, clean myself, thank you Pachamama, and then go back, to this crazy journey on this crazy beautiful planet filled with crazy, very destructive humans, but very beautiful people as well, So another thing, of course, is crystals. Of course, crystals. I mean, I love crystals. And, many, oh my God, all of my videos that I have more out of crystals. Now, can crystals take away your depression? Can crystals, like, heal you from diseases? Or, like with everything else, not one thing can, I believe, not one thing, can like heal a person from. It's a holistic approach. You have to look at it as a holistic approach. No one thing is like a magic pill that is just gonna solve all your problems and it's just gonna make you whole. No, because things that we feel, that we experience, then we put them in wrong. It's something that we need to face and we need to overcome and we need to learn from it, and that's how we grow. that's life. You know what I mean? As a human, that's life. That's what we do. Some people have a lot more, like easy journey, and others, it's like a really, really bumpy. But, so for example, crystals to me, they bring a lot of comfort, like incredible amount of comfort. When I feel like this, and you have seen me in a lot of videos, this is, I think, I don't know, the one crystal that if one day, I don't know, everything goes up in flames and I have to like run out of here and just grab, my animals, and this is probably the one that I will, grab, because I don't know, I have such an amazing connection with this particular, like a rose quartz heart. And it's the one that, and I always take it to my ayahuasca ceremonies, and oh, okay, before that, talking about the ayahuasca, um, the reason why I feel like I have, you know, um, feeling a little bit, more like overwhelming, or like the feeling, the depression state, has influence on me more lately, is because for the past, basically for years, I kind of like lost the connection that I had, and I stopped doing ayahuasca, and I haven't done it for like all those years. And since I stopped doing ayahuasca, it has been like a real, real challenge, because you keep building, all those things. And even though it has teach you how to do things, to clear and to be aware and to understand, but at least myself, I miss it like so much, and it has helped me so much. So not having been able to do it, oh, absolutely has helped. It has affected me. So yeah, crystals definitely, that they can help you. The beats, for example, in my case, once again, one thing can help you. Oh, one thing that I know is like pure medicine to me is the beach. I need to be next to the ocean. I need to be on the beach. I need to live on the beach, which is the reason why I left New York basically 18 years ago, and I moved to Miami Beach. And that was the best decision that I did, because to me it's pure therapy. Sometimes, when you have those up and downs, so when you feel anxiety, when the negative, the influences, right, the entities, that influence us, with the negativity, taking a little bit over, taking a little too much over, ourselves. To me, for example, my way to deal with that is like, yep, not today. And then I go to the beach. I take my crystals, and it really, I cleanse myself, it takes me away from everything. And then when I come back, it's like I feel renewed. So we need to find things and ways, like I do, right, to that we know that if we do those things, it's going to help us to get us out of that place, and we find ourselves, and it's not very good and not very positive, and doesn't make us feel really good. And then to step ourselves out of that and create a better space, so we can feel better, even if it's for a little bit, even until, all that influence goes away, or until, like I say, we feel better, we feel refreshed, and then, tomorrow will be a better day. But it's very, very important to keep yourself busy, to do things, that help you create a safe space for yourself, right? And the last thing that I would really love to give advice, especially, to younger people, as an older woman, right, and has been dealing with depression all my life, but I dealt with it really, really well. Like I said in my video, this is the first time, I'm starting to speak about it, not just because I feel it's really good for myself, for the first time, to don't just keep it inside and to let it out, but because I really feel that by talking about it, it can create, a dialogue to stop thinking about depression as a taboo, as something that is wrong. Let's not talk about it, right? And instead, make mental health something really important, but to see as something that we should support, right? So people can be better and live better, happy lives, and be a part of a healthier community for all of us, right? So then we don't have, mass shootings, and we don't have, like so much violence, and we don't have so much destruction and so many suicides, especially, and people that feel incredibly lonely or that feel like they have nobody. So the most important thing that I would like to tell you, if you're a young person and you feel depressed, or you're dealing with like a lot of things, if you find yourself in a place that you don't like, that even could scare you, and it's a really dark place, and it's a place that you shouldn't be. The most important thing that you can do is to reach out. Just reach out. Even if you think you don't have anybody, we all have somebody, even if it's that one person, but reach out. It's not good to when we keep too much to ourselves, because that's not gonna get you out of your depression if you keep to yourself, or if you hide in your own bubble. You know what I mean? You have to go out of your bubble and reach out, to the people that could help you, or to the things that could help you, so you can get better, because that's the goal. That's the ultimate goal, because we all deserve to feel good, to be happy, to feel at peace with ourselves, to be joyful. You know what I mean? And yes, of course, shit is gonna happen, and bad experiences are gonna happen, and we're gonna meet a lot of shitty people in our life that are gonna break our hearts, or really, leave an imprint in our lives. Many times not really good, but that's life. We gotta learn how to deal and cope with all those things, and they make us stronger. And then, that teaches us more about ourselves and the strengths that we have, and the also vulnerabilities that we have. So anyway, I wanted to make this video as a follow-up for my latest video, and because I think actually this is very important conversations, that we should have. And I want to, and I would love, to welcome you to really post on the comments, and share with everybody else, because sometimes, when we share things can help, each other, really. You know what I mean? Anything that you want to share, I will definitely love to read it in your comments, and I'm sure that people will like to. So I think, to find videos like this where people is, and in the comments, talking more positively about depression and sharing things, and, helping each other, it could be very positive and productive, or at least I hope so. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you for watching my last video and for reaching out, and oh my god, thank you for reaching out. You guys are really amazing, and I'm very happy that kind of feeling welcomed to go back to my channel and start making videos, at least, trying to put myself in a place where I can start making videos. So thank you very much. I love you. I see you on the next video, and probably my next video is gonna be about Israel. It has to do with this, sorry, but it's something that ayahuasca taught me, and I think it will be very helpful to share with you. I really think so. So probably that will be my last video. Okay, take care.